What's good, everybody? How y'all doing this morning? I hope everybody's having a great and blessed day. I just want to come say something quick about the word of Matthew. We're going to be in chapter 10, verses 34 through about verses 39. And there's a few points that I'm going to hit on about it. Now, in the heading, it says that Christ brings division. Now, if a person is of the world and they read that, which a lot of people who are in the world don't read the Bible, they would probably be very confused. But I just want to go on by saying that verse 34 says, "Do not think that I came to bring peace on earth. I did not come to bring peace, but a sword. For I have come to set a man against his father, a daughter against her mother, and a daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. And a man's enemies will be those of his own household. He who loves father or mother more than me is not worthy of me. And he who loves son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me. And he who does not take his cross and follow after me is not worthy of me." Now, verse 39 goes on by saying, "He who finds his life will lose it, and he who loses his life for my sake will find it." Now, I find it interesting that verse 34 starts off by saying, "Do not think that I came to bring peace on earth. I did not come to bring peace, but a sword." So when Christ comes again, and you actually allow him to live within you before he even comes back, like to get everybody, there's going to be some things that you have to experience. If your family is not right, if they are not living for God or neither pursuing God, then Christ is going to set a sword to divide. Dividing being he's going to separate. He did not come to bring confusion. Do not get that mistaken. God is going to create a dividing line between those who are his and those who are not. Yes, God created everything, and everything only has its being because it came through him. Without him, nothing can exist. But everybody is not his child to spend eternity with him. That's why he gave us free will. He knew who would choose him and who wouldn't. So for him to step onto the scene and come into the earth, it was so that his children who was for him would choose him. All they needed was directions and guidance. And he was able to do that by stepping into a flesh suit and giving us his word. He's also letting us know through like verses 35 to 37. If you love your mother or your father more than you love Christ, then you're not worthy of him. If a man or a woman loves their daughter or their son more than Christ, then they aren't worthy of him. And it's just that simple. Now, a lot of people might think, dang, that's a bit harsh. But you have to think about this in this reality. Before you were ever born, you were God's. Before your parents were born, you were God's. And when I say God's, you were his possession. I'm not saying that you're a God. Before I was ever born, my parents were God's possession. Before I was ever a thing. Before I was born, I was God's. So therefore, God was my father before my parents were ever my parents. So I'm going to say this to all the parents that may be listening. God trusted you with his child. Yes, you may have birthed that child, but that child is for you to steward over and to be a good steward. It's for you to lead that child. It's for you to help that child grow. But it's not for you to hinder that child. It's not for you to be a helicopter parent over that child. Because if that child belongs to God, and then if that child is meant to spend eternity with God, that child is going to be protected by God. You're just to set an example and a standard of what it looks like to pursue after God. And the same goes for vice versa for children to their parents. Your parent is not a God. Your parent is not your God. Your parent is your steward until you come of age for where you can actually step onto the scene of life and instill or embody that which your parents have instilled within you to go out and be a conqueror. Come on now. But then let's go back to verse 39, which says, "He who finds his life will lose it, and he who loses his life for my sake will find it." If you're willing to die for Christ, then that's much gain. You have to understand that Christ died for you so that we may live. So we have to be willing to return the favor. But you can only do that with Christ living within you. So if Christ is alive in me, that means I need to learn how to die daily so that he may live, just as he did for me. So basically, just as I received life, I'm giving that life back constantly by learning how to die to this flesh and die to this world. Now, the reason I'm touching bases on these things is this. I'm going to keep saying it. There are things coming. Now, for those who watch who want to know what all of those things are, watch the news if you want to. But just know that some of it they're going to lie to you about. Or some of it they're giving bits and pieces here and there, and you're really not able to put the dots together. So if you see chaos start to happen in the world, do not be fooled by the fact of that it seems like it just goes away. That's literally a part of the cyclical nature of the powers that be that play the game that they play. They're playing a game of constant insertion, uproar, pacify. So what it is that they're doing, they're inserting their agenda. They cause everybody to go crazy. And then to get all the hype and noise down, they pacify so that you in your mind thinking, oh, it's not really that bad, until they finally get to the end result. And that's going to be the mark of the beast system. That's going to be to draw as many people as the number is into eternal damnation. To fool each and every person that's not paying attention into following the beast. I'm just saying this is what it is. And if you don't believe in that, or if you don't think this is true, just keep watching. Because like the word of God says in the book of Matthew chapter 10, Christ did not come to bring peace on this earth, but he did come to give peace to his children. His word tells us peace he gives to us, peace he leaves with us. But when it comes to this world, he didn't come to bring peace for this world. He came to set a dividing line between those who are going to pursue him and those who are going to pursue the mark of the beast, or the things of this world, or the things that Satan like to promise and make to look shiny. I'm saying this because it's important. The question is, with the things that are going to come, are you going to love God more, or are you going to love the things of this world more? Are you going to pursue Jesus, or are you going to pursue your family? And I'm not saying that you should not pursue your family so that they can be saved. But when it comes to the things of God, if it affects your relationship with your family, then so be it. Because at the end of the day, those who do the will of my Father, those are my brothers and sisters. That is who my mother or my father is. And if your family or my family happens to get saved, for each and every one of them that's not saved, then glory be to God. But until then, your focus should be to pursue God. Your focus should be to keep watch, to ask God to show you how to maneuver through the things that are coming. But don't continue to fall into the cyclical nature of this world that continues to happen year after year, of the powers that be of inserting their agenda, then seeing how each and every person is going to respond, which they respond the same every way, with frustration, uproar, and every reason why we should change things, but no one is stepping forward to change them. And then they pacify you, whether it be with a stimulus check, whether it be with a new social media app, and whether it be of videos of aliens, which a lot of y'all seem to love that. Now let me tell you this real quick before I go. Aliens are not real. They are fallen angels. They're demonic. But to lead a lot of you astray, they have been pulling the alien card for years, when the powers that be know exactly what they are. Why do you think they come out of the sky? Why do you think they come out of the ocean? If aliens were real, don't you think God would have told us about them? And then they say that they're higher intelligence, extraterrestrial beings that have been around for millennia or thousands of years. Bro, that sounds like fallen angels to me. And then last time I checked, the fallen angels did give knowledge to the human beings of this earth that we were not supposed to have. Does that not sound similar to you? Just how aliens operate, coming to give us more knowledge so that we may advance? Sound like mark of the beast things to me. Sound like the devil's territory to me. So don't be fooled by the things that they put in front of you, by continuing to get caught up in the cyclical nature of insertion of agenda, uproar. Then let's pacify so that we can get them to shut up and go back to living their normal lives. Because who really wants the truth, right? But that's all I have to say. Until next time, remember, Christ didn't come to bring peace on this earth. He came to bring division between those who are his and those who are Satan's. The question is, whose are you? But until next time, y'all have a great and blessed day. Peace out, and I love y'all.